I want to call this meeting of the State of New York Mortgage Agency Mortgage Insurance Committee meeting to order. Let me introduce, I guess we have a couple of new members. So Dave Capel, who is the State Controller's representative on State Mortgage Agency Mortgage Insurance Committee meeting, replacing Mari. Pleasure. Welcome.
Thank you, Bill. Pleased to be here.
And I guess we also have Todd.
Yes, representing
Robert Mojica.
Robert Mojica.
Excellent.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'd like to request a motion and a second to call to order the March 9, 2017 meeting of the Sonyma Mortgage Insurance Committee. The motion and second recorded will be used for all action items before the committee unless specific items call for a different vote or unless any committee member wishes to record his or her vote differently. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
And a second? The minutes of the meeting of the Mortgage Insurance Committee held on January 26, 2017 will be deemed approved absent corrections from the directors.
Okay. The meeting will move to the Mortgage Insurance Committee program action items. Item 2, resolution approving 100% mortgage insurance for $3,873,352. J.P. Morgan Chase Permanent First Mortgage Loan for Communal Life, Woodhull Congregate Residence, 179 Thorpe Avenue, Brooklyn, Kings County.
Good morning. This project comprises the construction of 89 all-low-income studio apartments on the grounds of Woodhull Hospital in Bedford-Stuyvesant. Of the 89 units, 54 are special needs units reserved for clients of the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. And the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene will pay approximately $710,000 per annum in rent subsidies. This is a highly subsidized project. In addition to the insured first mortgage, there's $8.1 million Medicaid redesign team second mortgage and a $6.2 million HPD third mortgage. The development entity Communal Life was founded in 1989 and owns or manages 1,639 units of supported housing. The insured loan amount is $43,500 per unit, which equals only 14% of the project's total development cost of $311,000 per unit. The project will break even with a pro forma 10% vacancy or collection loss or a 7% increase in operating expenses.
Any questions? Questions?
I'd like to note that you have a substitute resolution in your folders, which is what will be being adopted. The resolution before the Mortgage Insurance Committee is approving mortgage insurance and a commitment for the provision thereof for Communal Life Woodhull Congregate Residence, 179 Thorpe Avenue, Brooklyn, Kings County. Assuming the first and second previously entered, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
The motion is carried.
Item 3, resolution approving 100% mortgage insurance and the $3,830,000 CPC Permanent First Mortgage Loan for Brighton Muse, 1001 East Brighton Avenue, Syracuse, Onondaga County.
This project comprises the development of 20 units, of which 2 are mod income units restricted to tenants with incomes up to 80% of the Syracuse AMI, although rents will be set at 64% of the AMI, pursuant to a pilot agreement with the city of Syracuse. The other 18 units are workforce housing units that are affordable at 121% of the AMI. The project is being developed on East Brighton Avenue, immediately south of the CBD and Syracuse University. The developer, Joseph Hucko, is an experienced upstate developer who owns and operates a company founded in 1990 that owns about 800,000 square feet of commercial and residential space throughout upstate New York. The insured loan amount is $191,500 per unit, which equals 82% of the project's total development cost of $234,000 per unit. And there's $845,000 in developer equity in the project. And the project would break even with a 15% pro forma vacancy vacancy or collection loss, or a 43% increase in operating expenses.
Questions?
I just have one question. I noticed that under conditions, it calls for an appraisal of no more than 80% loan to value, but the construction cost is 82%, excuse me, the proposed loan is 82% of construction value?
We haven't received the appraisal yet.
So it's assumed the appraisal will come in above the cost?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
The resolution before the Mortgage Insurance Committee is for approval of mortgage insurance and a commitment for the provision thereof for Brighton Mews, 101 East Brighton Avenue, Syracuse, Onondaga County. Assuming the first and second previously entered, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried.
Item 10, information items.
In February, the excess balance, the mortgage recording tax was $12.8 million. It had been $17 million in the prior month and $12.7 million in the month before that. So it's lumpy. It just sort of goes up and down. So far this year, for the first 11 months of the fiscal year, we're $11 million lower than we were last year. And that'll be reflected in the excess balance.
Motion to adjourn?
Assuming the first and second previously entered, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. The motion is carried and the meeting is adjourned.